Hello out there. D. We're going to talk about the key of D. First, we're going to learn the D scale all the way up and down in first position. And then in the next few videos, we'll work on some tunes out of D to try to get that pattern under our fingers. Now, the good news is that if you know the A scale, you already know where to put your fingers for all but one of the notes in the D scale, D major scale. So that's some good news. So let's get started. First, I want to just same way as we started on the A scale. For the A, okay, let's do the D, just starting on the D string, okay? So the D scale, and we'll talk about this in terms of whole steps and half steps, or big spaces or little spaces, just like we did for the A scale. So if you need to review that, hop on back. So here we go. We're going to start out on the D string. That's our Do, or 1. Okay? There's going to be a big space. We're not going to put our first finger here. We're going to give a big space and put it there. And that's an E note. Another big space in between the E, and this will be an F sharp. And then a half step or a small space, basically touching in between the F sharp and the G, third finger. And now here we have a choice of playing the next note up with just a big space after the whole step, after the G, with our little pinky, to play an A note, or this note is the same as this note, the next string up. So we could just do a bow crossing and go catch it over here. You'll want to use both things, just depending on what you're doing at the time. So practice both. Okay. So we were in an A, D, E, F sharp, G, A, or D, E, F sharp, G, A. I gotta play it in two. A, and then B is your first finger on your A string, with a whole step in between your open A and your B. Another whole step between your B and your C sharp, and then another small step, half step, between your C sharp and your D. And so for just a touch of practical theory, remember that we talked about with A, that pattern of a major scale being big step or whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. And same thing here. It's going to be the same in all keys. You just go to your the note that your key's in. So in this case, D, and do a whole step up from D, big space, another big space, whole step, little step, whole step, little step, half step, and then a whole step up from G, whole step, fingers touching, half step. Takes you back to Do. So that's the D scale. And which note was different there? Well, if you counted up in the numbers of the notes in the scale, it was this, or if it that was different from A. So which note was different from A major? It would have been this G note. A uses a G sharp. D uses the G. And that's all about just following that pattern of whole step, little step. And if you don't, and don't just take my word for it, go through that little pattern and convince yourself that that's true. And so, but practically what it means is that when you've learned the A scale, all you have to do is play a G note instead of a G sharp, and you're playing the D scale. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and find the rest of the notes on this fingerboard for the D scale out of the first position. Okay? So I'll play through them so far. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay? And now we just keep going up. And repeat those same notes. D, E, F sharp, G, A. So that's open E. Big step up for an F sharp. And then here it's different from the A scale. There's just going to be a half step in between your F sharp and your G, or your first finger and second finger on the E string in the D scale. So that's going to be a F sharp, G, and then a big step, B. And that's pretty much the human limit in first position, especially starting out. You know, some people can reach their, you can reach your pinky up a little bit higher, but right now, just that much is a wonderful accomplishment, and that you should feel very happy about. Now, that's if we keep going up, but how about the notes down here on the G string? Well, same things, same pattern, same letters going down. So we'll start at D, open D, to a C sharp, B, A. And if you'll notice, that's the same thing as your old friend from Buy All the Cabbage down on this low register. Right? So you've already learned it. That's the D scale. What I think would be valuable for you is to practice this scale until you feel that the G note just falls there naturally, and you don't have to think about it very much. You know, you can kind of tell your brain, okay, brain, play the A scale, but make sure that you play a G note instead of a G sharp. Kind of a little, shortcut to getting to a D scale more quickly. Yeah, and actually you can go on down to a G if you'd like. Open G, because that's in the D scale as well. So, G. Back down. What you'll want to do is start where you feel comfortable with this. Don't rush it. Again, use, say, a tuner like this or something to help you feel confident that you can accurately land on these notes, quite a few times in a row. And then once you can do that, then try to build up speed with a metronome. So, and don't try to set speed records here in the beginning, because it's all about technique and building a foundation. So start out trying your best to use a good bow hold, trying to get that wrist working. Use the wall if you have to. Okay. Good. Now let's say that you mess up right there. It's fine. Let's say pretend like it's from an E to F sharp, and like your finger just hasn't really learned that spacing yet. You're wondering about it. So what you need to do, don't go back to the beginning and start over again. No, just do the few notes that you mess up on. Use your time efficiently. So if you mess up on this scale going from E to F sharp, just sit there and go over it and over it, like five, 10 minutes. How much ever time it takes you. It's not about comparing our rates of acquisition, to see who wins. It's about getting to the place where you want to be musically, so you can really use this stuff. And so that's another great secret about learning these things, is just focus on the few little notes and phrases that's really giving you trouble. Okay, that's the D scale. We'll move into some D tunes, so we'll try to we'll learn how to use these in this scale in actual tunes that you can play out with people. Alrighty, see you.